It's going to be all Tony's fault.
Yep.
Bro, what the fuck?
Let me see it on the charger. I got the best barber. Fade up, let me get the lemon line. Let me get the real line. And the limousine, and the limousine. Krispy Kreme, matter of fact, the donut cream. I like a Boston cream. Jelly, nana,
What is up, everybody? We are back. The Sports Port episode 15. We had an interesting day of football yesterday, but to start things off, I'm your host, PJ, along with Tam,
good,
Tony, and we got Ryan Cosner back in studio today.
Yes,
and then you
sir.
can't forget the super producer who's behind the scenes today. No Mike, no Cam, but he's still there doing his thing. Mike Theophil, what's going on? We have a lot to talk about in the sense of yesterday's games were wild. We saw a lot of things happen that we weren't expecting, and I know from our picks, we were all pretty much wrong except for Tam. You got one game right out of the three.
One out of three.
But to kind of cover the games that we picked for Sunday, we had the Browns and the Titans, which, you know, we've been fond of the Titans all year long. Mm-hmm. We rode with them heavy. I think everybody picked them, and, you know, the Browns kind of showed up and took them out. So what did we see from that game that, you know, stood out to you guys?
I mean, I think the biggest thing was Derrick Henry really didn't show off as much as he'd been. And obviously, like, their offense kind of suffered because of it. And, I mean, you could say Baker Mayfield did great, which he did the first half. But yeah, dude, I mean, it was unexpected. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry, you know, not the usual Derrick Henry. And then Baker, too. Baker looked really good, throwing, what do you have, four touchdowns, I think?
No interceptions.
Yeah, no INTs. So, I mean, good for the Browns overall. And, yeah, the Titans, though, definitely surprising. Derrick Henry fumbling, too.
I think that result was definitely something that we were shocked in. I mean, both teams were 8-3, so it's not like the Browns were terrible going into Tennessee and beating them.
Opponent or anything.
Kaz, what'd you see from that game?
Yeah, like I said, when we made our picks, I think we all thought Derrick Henry was going to have to pop off for them to win. As per usual, that's what he does. Mm-hmm. But that fumble, I forgot the stat, but it was like the first fumble he had in, I don't know, like 200 plus carries or something crazy. So that's unusual. And then, I mean, Baker went for 250 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns in one half. So I think you're not going to win many games when you give up that many points in a half. So, but the game ended up being somewhat close at the end. I don't think anyone really expected that with the way it started. So the Titans kept it close before halftime. I think that game could have gone either way, but it was entertaining.
I mean, it was something similar to the sense of when the Chiefs played the Bucs, in the sense of they fell behind a lot early. Right. So it was like, and like we kind of discussed about that game, it's like when you fall down like 17-0 or whatever the score was, 24-7. Mm-hmm. It's tough to get back into that game. They made it close. You know, they had a shot at the end with the onside kick. Obviously, it didn't go their way. But, I mean, you saw Baker Mayfield kind of show off yesterday, proving that, you know, they deserve that record. I mean, I'm not going to say that Baker's elite yet because it's just we haven't seen enough. Yeah. We haven't seen enough to make that kind of call. But they did look good yesterday. You know, you can't take that away from them. Like they went into a Titans team that's been rolling all year long, and they kind of smacked them in the face. Right, you know,
they did.
Yeah, they caught them off guard.
They crashed their party for sure. It's funny. Baker postgame said. Somebody asked him a question. His answer was like, well, if I just think to myself, would an idiot do that?
Oh, yeah.
And if he would, then I don't do that. So
yeah, I mean,
does he though? Does he?
He kind of
puts it the opposite, but
probably a lot more this year than last year.
I just think the Titans said, much of an idiot. If you guys are going to beat us, it's going to be by Baker throwing the ball. We're going to take away the run game with Kareem Hunt and Chubb,
dude.
And they're always dominating, so they tried taking them away and made Baker beat them, and he got it done, which is surprising. I feel like he's struggled with that a little bit, but he looked good. So we'll see.
You know, I mean, it was interesting to see how that game kind of panned out. Like we said, we all took the Titans, so we were kind of all in shock about that result. But to keep things moving, we had a couple 4 o'clock games that we also picked. Mm-hmm. To start things off, we had the Rams versus the Cardinals, which is a battle of the NFC West. And we'll get into what that meant, especially with the next game that we're going to discuss. But Rams came out 38-28. You know, it was a dogfight.
Yeah.
They put up a lot of points. What did we see from that game that we kind of are looking forward to for the rest of the season?
I mean, the Rams, dude.
They're going to the Super Bowl.
Rams. Yeah, dude. 100%. I don't know about that, but they look good, dude. Goff looks really good, throwing the ball. Yeah, and that defense too, man. Aaron Donald, like Rams are a solid team, both sides of the ball. I've been saying that pretty much for the last few weeks. But yeah, man, I think they're gonna make some noise, dude, in the playoffs, obviously, and maybe even get to the Super Bowl. We'll see what happens, but they look good, man.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch. I mean, division rivals, that always brings the best out of both of those teams. You got Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins on one side, and then Jared Goff and the Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp kind of combination on the other side. And then, Aaron Donald.
And also, it was a close game, too.
It was. Until the very end, at least, until that pick six, which kind of put the cap on it. But,
Dude,
Kyle, what did you see from that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jalen Ramsey really showed why he's such a big acquisition for that team. And D-Hop really, aside from that 2 or 3 yard touchdown he didn't really do much in the game. So I think he only had 3 or 4 catches. And to take away that guy like that, who's their dude, you know what I mean? So that's definitely the difference maker in that game last night. I think that's why they were able to hold on to the lead.
Yeah, you see it a lot with that Arizona defense or offense for that matter, in the sense of if D-Hop doesn't really kind of pop off, that offense is kind of lost. In the sense of, Kyler Murray is Kyler Murray. He can run as much as he can, but until you throw the ball and kind of open up that run game, that makes a difference. And with a defense like the Rams have, with all those corners, who are learning from exactly what Kaz said, who's learning from one of the best to do it, Jalen Ramsey. You got a guy like Aaron Donald on the defensive line. You got to be able to spread the ball around, and I don't think Arizona's at that point where they can kind of spread that around to the sense of you need D-Hop. You need D-Hop to have a game. You need him to perform, and that's how you become victorious. But so what we were saying in the sense of this game meant a lot. It's the game that Kaz was a big fan of yesterday, in the sense of watching it. I've never seen a man so excited during a game than the Giants and the Seahawks game yesterday, because that was unbelievable.
Never been more happy to be wrong about a pick in my life.
I was going to say, we all
you even a real Giants fan? You even pick them? Your own team,
man.
bro.
I don't think any Giants fan was picking them for real, bro. Hey,
fraud.
I'll take it.
Dude.
I'll take the L.
I mean,
on that.
it's either you make the pick and you're right, or your team wins.
Yeah.
You know?
Is he really a Jets fan, Cause?
Listen,
oh, boy.
when I explained, their chance of winning, I said, this is what they have to do. I said, Colt McCoy's got to limit his mistakes, and he did. Only one pick. I mean, he was more of a game manager, but we knew that was going to be. And the Giants' defense really stepped up. They played great. So that's
I like
exciting
the Giants
to see.
defense.
I love it.
No, they were flying after the ball.
Good.
They attacked Russ. He looked uncomfortable all day. He just was not able to get into a rhythm. They locked down their receivers. DK Metcalf really didn't have that
DK Metcalf kind of game.
Yeah, that we're used to seeing, being his size and physique. He's an animal.
And just what he's done the last few weeks.
And that was the most important thing. And I think that's what Joe Judge kind of emphasized in their game plan. It's like, we can't let this guy beat us. We got to put pressure on Russ, make him uncomfortable, and we should become victorious. Hold on to the ball. Like Kyle said, don't turn it over. You have Colt McCoy starting for Daniel Jones, so you're not where you need to be at quarterback. So it's like, as long as you hold on to the ball, keep the ball moving, put up some points, stop them on defense. And I mean, hey, we saw that in the sense of last night.
Russ definitely looked uncomfortable, that's for sure. They had a bunch of plays, 70-something plays or something like that, and they only scored 12 points out of it. So I think that says a lot about the Giants' defense stepping up, especially from last year, transitioning. Even in the beginning of the season, they didn't look great, and they're starting to really come together as a unit. That D-line is starting to really cause some problems for quarterbacks. They're rushing the passer, they're rushing it and stuff like that. And I mean, Russell Wilson is one of the best under pressure and making stuff happen. But I mean, the secondary's coming together. I don't know. The Giants defense, it's exciting to watch right now. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
To your point, dude. Yeah, I was gonna say I like the Giants secondary a lot with Peppers and
Bradbury, Logan Ryan.
Yeah, man. Giants are. We said last week too. Like Giants and Washington will probably be. I could see them being the two teams.
Those
in
are
that
definitely
division
the two teams that are set up
Looking
at the
up- it's
moment
looking up.
to get in. Yeah,
Those are the two teams that are set up at the moment to make some noise in that division. Because
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the whole debacle with the Eagles yesterday. They lost again. Carson Wentz got
Carson
benched.
Wentz is so bad, bro.
So it's like they're not going to be making any noise. The Cowboys are pretty much out of it for this year.
Yeah.
But to kind of raise awareness to this NFC West, you got the Rams and the Seahawks who are now tied at 8-4, and I'm pretty sure the Rams beat them in the first game. So they technically have that sole possession of first place.
Right.
How do we see that whole two-team race kind of panning out? I'm pretty sure they play again as well. So do you think that one game that they have left is going to determine that division, or you think one of these teams are going to kind of fall off towards the end of the season?
I don't know, man. It's tough. It'll be a dogfight till the end. I think Seattle will pull out that division, but Rams will make some noise as a wild card. But I don't know. For some reason, I just can't see Seattle letting it slip.
You got to also look at the fact that there is an extra playoff spot. So at the moment, both of these teams are, in fact, in right now.
Yeah.
Regardless of who wins the division and who gets the wild card, both of these teams have have a good enough record to get in regardless of if they're division champs or not, which is interesting because it's like that extra playoff spot is starting to create a lot of buzz because it's like all these teams are kind of fluctuating between the 7th, 8th, 9th. You know, a lot of teams still have shots to win or get into the playoffs, which in past years wasn't the case. You know, Kaz, what are you seeing about that?
The list of teams that are in the hunt, as a lot of these networks are saying, is crazy. I feel like it's almost every team, which is wild, especially in the NFC East. But I'm hoping the Giants going to take off from there. But I don't know. I feel like it's always the team that's playing the hottest towards the end of the season, kind of carry it over into the postseason. So I think Seattle, that loss to the Giants might be a little bit of a wake-up call. They kind of reset. They get stuff under control, protect Russ a little bit better, and then that offense starts clicking again. I think that's the key for them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those two teams kind of duke it out for that title. Now, to keep things moving, we have actually quite a bit of football left this week. We have 2 games tonight, a game on Tuesday. To start things off, we have the 5 o'clock game tonight. It's the NFC East, the Washington football team against the undefeated Steelers. Now, my question is, do we see Pittsburgh suffering their first loss tonight? Because that defense isn't terrible in Washington.
I know.
You know, they got Chase Young.
Young's really good.
They're playing very well. They're getting takeaways. Like, what do we kind of expect from this game tonight?
I don't know. I'm gonna roll with Pittsburgh, dude.
You got it.
I'm picking Pittsburgh, dude. Big Ben, they're undefeated still. Yeah. They with Bud Dupree, obviously, but the defense is still nasty for Pittsburgh. The receiving core, like we've discussed a few times on this show, but yeah, Pittsburgh, man. I'm just gonna roll with them. Big Ben, keep the momentum going.
Same.
Gonna roll with the hot team.
Yeah, and we've talked about it. Like Big Ben has like so many options in terms of receivers. Like I think they're gonna roll over Washington.
Kaz, what are we thinking?
I think they were talking about maybe changing up their game plan a little bit, maybe implementing the running game a little bit more for Pittsburgh because that hasn't been a main focal point of their offense this year at all. They have 2 pretty solid RBs in the backfield that they could work with. I just think they're just going to keep rolling. It might be a close game. The Washington defensive front that's a force to be reckoned with. So they're going to make some noise, maybe a couple sacks, put Ben under some pressure, but it's nothing that he hasn't seen in his career. So I think they'll still come out on top, probably by about 2 scores or something. like that.
So you're taking the Steelers.
I'm taking the Steelers.
So 3 Steelers all around. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to kind of side with everybody on that. I just think
pick Washington.
Yeah,
no. Honestly, I thought about it. I did think about it in the sense of that defense.
If you did, or if anybody did, I wouldn't.
It's not a terrible pick, to be honest with you. It's really not that bad of a pick. Like Alex Smith has been. I mean, granted, he had that gruesome injury. He hasn't been necessarily bad behind center for that.
Let's see if he settles in a little bit.
Dude.
He's definitely their best passer they have on that roster.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he makes the right reads. He's smart. He has good football IQ, and he gets it done. Like he seems to just get it done.
We'll see how well
he has Scary Terry
does,
too.
Yeah,
McLaurin is a stud. That kid's gonna be a stud for a while. He's his second year in the league. He's already a captain for that team. Like he's a leader. You know, he's getting it done on the field. Which I think this game's gonna be a lot closer than a lot of people think. Personally, I'm gonna take the Steelers though. I'm gonna side with everybody else, but I think that game is going to be a lot closer than we're kind of expecting it to be.
Maybe by at least 10 points,
game.
something like that.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. Now, there's another game tonight. 8:15, we got the Bills versus the 49ers. They're playing in Arizona because of the whole county ban in Santa Clara right now. So the next couple home games that they have are going to be played actually in the Cardinals Stadium, which is interesting because that's the division rival, but we're going to play in their stadium. Interesting.
Is that domed? It is, right?
In Arizona?
I think so, right?
Yes.
I think it's retractable.
I think it opens up.
It's retractable.
Yeah, I think it.
The weather's not going to play.
No, I mean you're in Arizona. It's probably warm. It's nice over there. You know, they're going to be okay. But what are we kind of expecting from this game?
Go ahead.
Honestly, I think Josh Allen's going to go off. I think the Bills are going to. It might be. I would say it's a close game, but in terms of I think just Josh Allen's a stud. Like Stephon Diggs in there. Like I think the Bills are going to win.
Dude, I'm actually gonna go with the Niners.
Oh, PJ's so happy right
Because
now.
just for PJ.
I'll say my part.
Hold
You guys
on,
can
hold on.
go.
No, listen, I think Niners got a good team. They're still, aren't they? Still, you would say someone in the hunt.
We're in the 8th position right
Jimmy
now.
G's playing.
9th position.
Jimmy G's playing tonight.
No,
No.
he'll be back the last 2
Mullins,
games
right?
of the season.
Okay.
So
A
that's
win,
what Kyle
a
Shanahan
win
says.
against the Bills would be significant for the 49ers
Yeah.
for sure, with
Correct.
their chances
I-
of making the playoffs.
So with Jimmy G not in there, I just think they'll find some other way to win. You know, it'll be like one of those games for them. So I'm gonna go with the Niners. I feel kind of bad about it, but I'm gonna do it.
That's
I'm gonna
fine.
do it
You
for
can make
PJ.
that pick. Kaz, what are you thinking?
Well, who just
did
came
make that
back
pick.
for them again?
We have
pick
so
that pick.
for the I actually like that pick in the sense of the 49ers have all 3 of their running backs back. They have Brandon Ayuk and Debo that are going to be on the field for the first time together this year, and this is probably the healthiest the 49ers have been all year. So I mean that's essentially
Going off of that, I think just based on the health, and they've had some trouble at the start of the year just based on staying healthy and staying on the field. So with those people back and more weapons to work with, I don't know, man. I like the Niners too, man. I like where it's trending. It's trending in the right direction.
Like you could say like trap game for the Bills, maybe. You know, not a trap
No,
game
no,
per se,
I know
but
exactly what you're saying.
A lot
I mean,
of people
the Bills are
expecting,
8-3. Like
Right.
they're one of the top
They're a
teams
better
in the AFC.
team. They're a better team than the Niners, but
For sure. I'm
think,
not
the
arguing
Niners
that.
are a good team.
I'm not arguing that.
I think
I know we
Josh
bust your
Allen's
balls,
like
but-
first 4 games were kind of not a
Somewhat.
fluke, but I think he's going to simmer down a little bit, slow down, and he's not going to have quite as dominant as a game against the 49ers. I think they're going to pressure him a little bit, play some solid defense. I think just taking Stephon Diggs out of the game is really their biggest thing. So if they could do that and they just kind of manage the mistakes and limit them on offense, like every team, I think they have a good shot. So I'm going to go with the Niners in a close one, probably like within a score, no more than that.
Yeah, no, I would have to say that it's kind of the same thing as the whole Giants Seahawks thing. If Nick Mullins can make the necessary passes, hand the ball off to the running backs, control the clock, don't turn the ball over. I like the Niners' chances tonight. I really do. I mean, they've been playing good football. They're winning games now. You know, they're getting healthier. Obviously, I'm going to take the 49ers. Like, I would not take the Bills regardless. I'm going to take my team. I'm going to ride with them. But it's going to be a good game. I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout. I'm not going to say that, you know, they're going to go in there and destroy the Bills because that's just unrealistic. But I will take the Niners. Mike's talking in the background even though nobody can hear him. But it's okay.
What's their percentage to get into playoffs right now? Around 30 or
It's
something?
around like 25%.
Okay,
right now.
so with a win here, that'll boost them up maybe 40-ish%, something like
probably
that. So
around there.
It'll
Big-
raise their
big jump.
chances, and then
For sure, yeah.
I think the Giants play Arizona next, and that can help them out with
Yeah.
a win from the Giants there too. So
Well, I know they got a lot of help in the sense of teams losing that needed to lose in order to
Yeah,
kind of make
yeah.
those necessary steps. However, there's still a lot of the season left, so we'll see how that whole
maybe
thing
they
pans
bounce
out.
off that positive trend and keep it going.
Hey, we'll see what
The
happens.
more healthy they get, Jimmy G comes back later on in the year.
Yeah.
See what position they're in when that happens.
Kittle should be back
Yeah.
by like the Arizona week too, so it'll be interesting to see how kind of the rest of the season pans out in that whole NFC playoff picture. You
Yeah.
know, it constantly changes each week. But to kind of
it
keep
does.
things moving, we got a Tuesday night game, which is interesting because you know we're kind of seeing that more and more this season with
COVID season.
COVID and everything
COVID,
going
yeah.
on. But we got Dallas against Baltimore. What are we thinking about that game? I mean, we kind of just discussed that Dallas is kind of, you know,
Yeah.
It's gonna be
out.
a rout.
but
It's gonna be a rout.
Dude, the Ravens are on the outside looking in too.
Yeah, they're not looking
True.
great, but that Dallas defense is just I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 99% sure they've given up the most points in the league as a defense. So I think they're just going to run all over Dallas's defense, and it's not going to be close. I don't know. I think Dallas can't get anything going on offense either, so it's not going to be good. It's going to be 2+ scores, I think. I think Lamar Jackson's going to settle in and find himself again, find that MVP form. So I don't think it's going to be close.
what are we thinking?
Yeah, I would think Ravens too. I mean, like Cosner was saying, you know, Dallas gives up a lot of points as they give up 32 points per game. Like that's a lot. Like against the Ravens too. Like go.
Who have a pretty good defense.
Do we know
Yeah.
if the Ravens have the 2 running backs back yet
I
for
would
this game?
Yes, they definitely have the
Yeah.
running backs.
Well, they
in
have the
them.
running back behind or under center, so they'll never
Right.
lose him.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
we'll get
that we
into
can
that.
get
I'm
into.
gonna go with Baltimore as well because I'm gonna agree with Kaz that Lamar's gonna like return to MVP form somewhat, and you know that defense
It's going to be
Yeah.
against anybody.
Like,
It's
that's a
gonna be
lot
against
of points
Dallas.
per game.
Yeah.
To
A lot.
dude. That's a lot.
I am agreeing 120%.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Baltimore's defense is pretty good too. It's like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
not
Oh,
they're
of
not
course.
necessarily bad,
Right.
and like Andy Dalton.
I was just gonna say, and don't forget who's playing quarterback for the fucking Cowboys.
I mean, hey, that team would have been completely different. Like this
Dak didn't get
conversation would be completely different if Dak was in the game. I think they would have had more of a shot, regardless of if that
course.
defense is not playing up to where they need to
Right.
be.
Yeah.
But
Dallas is in
I just
trouble
think-
going forward, man. They're in big trouble.
Yeah, I just think there's too much going on with that Ravens team for Dallas to kind of come out victorious.
You think they're headed for a few years of like in the basement of the NFC East?
I mean, I think so, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles and Cowboys had their little bit of run, but I think it's going to be Washington and
Washington
New
and-
York now, man.
yeah,
I really
I think
do.
they're gonna switch.
Just based on the
They're gonna
trend that I'm
switch.
seeing this year, especially.
Yep.
Not just saying that because I'm biased a little bit towards the Giants, obviously.
No, I
but-
agree. From a
But just
non-Giants.
yeah,
bias.
they have to. They messed up big time with Dak, and they're gonna have to pay him now, man. Look at what's happening without him. I mean, they're not going to tag him again. I hope for his sake. But
I know,
he's
I
40
know.
plus million waiting because the QB market just keeps rising. So
Yeah.
they're in trouble with that, man. They're gonna have to figure something out.
I hate Dallas, everything about them, but I do like Dak, and I hope he gets his money somehow, some way.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the numbers he was putting up before he got hurt, like 400-yard games, 500-yard games. Like,
He deserves it,
You
dude. He's a
can't,
good
you can't
quarterback.
He
argue
is.
against
He's
that.
good
You
with
can't
that.
argue against that.
Tried
That's
weighing
facts.
it out, and it's gonna
Jerry
bite them in the
Jones,
ass
dude,
now.
is
That's what's happening.
Out of his
Yeah.
fucking mind, honestly.
I mean, hey, they're trying to
Until he
get by.
Until he completely removes himself from the day to day with them, like they'll be the same. They'll be the same thing until that happens. It's the mediocrity.
Throwing money at the
and-
wrong guys. It seems.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
it's-
that's my point. I was trying to bring up is like they're trying to get by with paying all these other guys to surround them with the team and just being like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna franchise tag Dak,
Yeah.
save a little bit of money, sign some other free agents at other positions. But now it's like, all right, dude, your quarterback's out, and now you're 3-8 and look like
I think
absolute
the injury
trash.
helps Dak and the way he looks a lot, really.
Oh, for sure.
Because now
For sure.
seeing how they perform without him, I think it's evident that they need to pay this man, and now they're gonna have to pay more than probably what
Yeah,
they
they
would have
make-
if they gave him the contract right away. So they messed up by delaying it for so long, for sure.
I agree. I mean, we could talk about the NFL for hours
day.
and days. But Kaz, thank you for joining us. We have another special guest in the studio who's going to come on and talk some college basketball when we return. Peace.
Later.
Hey, I never thought I could, but I did, so can you? Trust me, I'm the kid, yeah, hey, just listen, we coming live with the mission. I know that you wanna get him and just kiss him. I know that you're thinking that this is a rhythm, but you gotta go that I might know that you know that.
Don't crash, we just last
All right, back on the Sports Port. Not just one special guest, three special guests.
hell yeah.
Guest
Here we
hosts,
go.
me, Gino Ganello. We've got Kaz back, and then Bez, of course. And now it's time to talk a little hoops. First, we'll start off, obviously, with some college basketball. It's been huge. They started their season, a couple weeks ago. A lot of big things happening, though.
A lot of stuff already. It seems like it's early in the season for all this stuff to be happening, but I love it that way. It's better.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the big things, a lot of the big teams losing so far. Obviously, Duke with a loss already. Kentucky not playing well at all. I think COVID probably has had a little bit to play with this, but
For sure.
Man, how are these teams actually building their chemistry with all the restrictions that are going on? It's just strange. I don't know how they're supposed to get their season started.
yeah, it's tough because they don't have the practice time that they did. They're not practicing for months before. They have 2 weeks. They had 2 weeks to prep for this, and now they're still trying to find starting lineups and whatnot. And
Yeah, it's not necessarily like pro ball where, the players play. College has a lot to do with the game plan and what the coaching staff is providing the players. So if they're not getting as much practice in, it's going to show on the court, and we already see that. Right
Yeah, absolutely. With Kentucky specifically, obviously
Yeah.
they lost last night now to Georgia Tech by 17 points.
Yeah, that's a big L. That's
Third
to an
loss for
unranked
them.
opponent.
Yeah, third loss for them already. Obviously, their first loss coming against a now ranked Richmond team. Their second loss coming against Kansas, but this one probably the worst of the three.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for Kentucky, this powerhouse to now lose 3 in a row and against 2 unranked opponents. I know one is now ranked, but the Georgia Tech loss, 17 points in college. That's a big loss because the games are usually a little bit closer. So I think that's a statement game. I don't know what's going on with them. Lack of practice, maybe, or they're just their gameplay, their style. It's not matching. It's not flowing. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. 1-3 start. They haven't seen that I guess weak of a start in how many years? Who knows?
Yeah, it's been a while, and Bez, 21 turnovers for Kentucky compared to the 6 for Georgia Tech. Everything else across the board was pretty equal. Obviously, I'm sure that probably has to do with the chemistry and just finding teammates and whatnot, right?
Bro, again, it goes back to COVID. It's not only the practice time, not only the time spent in facility, game planning, it's like camaraderie with your teammates. You're limiting interaction with everyone, from physical trainers to your teammates to coaching staff. It really changes the way you're used to approaching basketball or approaching any sport for that matter.
Yeah, and a couple teams now on pause, a couple teams who have performed really well so far. Gonzaga, who was the number 1 team in the country, they're on pause for 2 weeks. They lost a game against Baylor, which would have been a really good contest, the top 2 teams in the country, and then a few other games, which, in all fairness, they probably would have won by a lot of points.
Yeah.
And then UConn. I know PJ.
Hell yeah.
I'll just stepped out. But
yeah,
you know, love to talk about.
I will, and I'll do that for him. I will be that PJ for him because me and PJ were talking about the UConn team last year at the end of the season because I did camera work for them, baseline camera work, and these young puppies, they were all freshmen and they were hooping and they were beating these teams at the end of the year, and I was like, whoa, these kids are good. I didn't even know. Couple of the kids were preseason ranked. We got my man Tony back here, sexy stuff. And yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I think this could be one of those years for UConn where it was like that Kemba Walker year, that Shabazz year, low-seeded team. No one's really talking about them. Hard-working team finds it at the end. They're going to do some damage. Trust me.
They literally got that dog in them.
They do.
Let's not forget, UConn Stores is home of college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I think even last year probably could have been that team if there was a tournament. For the way they finished off last year, they seemed like that type of team that was running towards, making the tournament and making a run.
Exactly.
But you're right. This year they've been fantastic. Dan Hurley is a fantastic coach.
You should see him live in practice.
Yeah,
he's a pit bull out there.
And you just got to look at his body of work, just going to see, what he did at Rhode Island.
But.
Oh yeah, true. That's a good point. He's a Husky too.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But yeah, definitely good stuff from UConn so far this season. A couple quick games that we should probably break down coming up tomorrow. Big Tuesday, really the first big Tuesday we've seen in college basketball in the first couple weeks. Let's start off with Duke, Illinois. It's a big matchup, 5 or 6 as of right now. Obviously, the AP polls have not come out yet. But what are you thinking about this one, Kaz?
I think it's going to be a close game. Duke already has a loss pretty early on into the season. I think they're going to wake up a little bit. Coach K is going to get them right. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think you can say these two teams are going to go up against each other. It's going to be a blowout either way. So, that'll be a fun game to watch. I can't wait for that. So, not much really to say. I guess it's a little early to make some really big picks. But it'll be a close game, probably within 8 points of each other, no higher than that.
I'm gonna lean in with the world-class experience of Coach K. He's seen everything except the pandemic. So I feel like if anybody can get their boys in line, it's Coach K.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The big thing here is going to be how Duke handles Kofi Cockburn. He's a 7-footer. Duke doesn't have a guy on their team that's over 6'9", so a couple inches there, and Kofi's a big dude.
Yeah.
Matthew Hurt is going to have to handle him, which I think will be a good thing for them offensively because Hurt will pull him out to the 3-point line. Where I don't think Kofi defends as well.
Right.
But getting rebounds and inside.
You got to make those shots, son.
Yeah.
Can't be missing a lot.
It's going to be a difficult challenge for them. I'm going to lean Illini here just to be a little bit different. I think.
Illini. Look at this guy.
I think they got a really good team. They're a fun watch. They have a couple good guys on their team. A kid from Long Island, a local guy.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my God.
Curbelo.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, they're a fun team to watch. Had a tough matchup against Baylor, who was a really, really good team, and I think Baylor and Gonzaga are a step above the rest this year. The next matchup we should talk about: Kansas versus Creighton. A little bit of a weird one here. You don't get these two teams playing too much. Both of them have had
last
pretty
time
good
we heard
starts.
about Creighton was McDermott.
Yeah. Dougie McBuckets.
Dougie McBuckets.
And his dad's still there coaching
Wow.
for Creighton. So still a McDermott in the program. This game is going to be a lot of back and forth. It's going to be running up and down. Both these teams have really, really good offenses. But I think we're going to lean Kansas here. How about you guys?
Just off, I guess, experience and being being the team that they always are. I have to agree with you with Kansas, but like you said, they're going to run the score up, so it's going to be an offensive highlight tape for sure, and it's going to be an exciting game to watch.
See, I feel like I don't have much to say, but I'm leaning Kansas. Just I trust my trust in them.
It's the name,
Run
you know?
strong.
And one of the big things we talk about COVID, getting those defensive sets in line, it's tough,
Exactly.
and these two teams.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to see some high-scoring games.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Which is great if you're betting the over.
Yeah,
in any
exactly.
games. That's always fun.
Which we recommend that you do here at the Sports Port.
Only bet the over. And then finally, the last big game we got to talk about, which I think is the most interesting game on the slate, would be UNC versus Iowa. You've got Luke Garza, Garrison Brooks going at it. UNC's got a couple of good freshman guards there, but haven't really. I don't think UNC's played to the top potential. It's going to take some time for them to get into.
Right.
It's
another team PJ would have loved to talk about, but he's not here.
Another team PJ would love to talk about.
Another one bites.
Another local guy for UNC, RJ Davis, one of the guards there. I think for UNC, the biggest thing for them, RJ Davis takes care of the ball really well. Hasn't been as prolific of a scorer as they would have liked. Caleb Love has been that prolific scorer. Hasn't played great defense and turned the ball over a lot. That's going to be an issue against this Iowa team who's pretty defensively sound.
Yeah, well, in college especially, limiting your turnovers, it's in any sport, is super important. And we see a team like Kentucky who had 21 turnovers, and they lost big time. So they can take care of the ball. I mean, UNC is always going to be good. So I'm a Duke guy, so I'm not a huge fan of them. So, but that's another close game. I mean, all these games are going to be so close. That's
Iowa
like college
seems
basketball
hungrier.
is.
I feel like
listen.
Iowa's
I hope
hungrier.
Iowa. I hope they win. I don't like the Tar Heels, so I'm a little biased. Though I'm a little biased.
Yeah.
I'm leaning Iowa. They just look hungrier.
Yeah, it's going to be Luke Garza's real first test this year. They haven't really played anybody, so that'll be interesting. He's scored at will for the entire season so far, but again, haven't played anybody too great. They played
so it
some
was a
really
good
bad
test.
teams. So
We'll
yeah,
see.
it'll definitely be a good test. Let's move a little bit to the NBA now and talk a little bit about the professional hoops. Big news coming in really just about 10 minutes ago that all the teams are going to get $30 million for COVID-19 compensation. Yeah. You know, that probably, I mean, that's so helpful, really, setting the precedent for other leagues.
Yeah,
going
absolutely.
forward.
And for the smaller market teams too, that's big time money for them. They need that. So, I mean, we'll see what they do with it. I don't know if it's going to go back into their program or what, really.
Out of all sports in the world, all leagues and all levels, the NBA has been leading the way with response to COVID and keeping players and fans safe, as well as staff and other professionals. So I continue to applaud them. Hopefully other leagues, other sports organizations follow behind them.
Yeah, I love what they did with the bubble. I thought that was well run. It was fun to watch. So, I mean, we'll see. The next season looks like it's going to be another one of those funky years. So we'll see what they decide with all that.
Yeah, I think that the NBA has been a leader, like you said, in every real aspect. I think Adam Silver has done a fantastic job with every problem that's really come up for them. He's awesome.
number
He's
one.
came in off
He's
the
number one
top.
coach.
He came in and dropped the hammer, and he's been good since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody really has much to complain about Silver.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I can't really find many things.
Except his ears.
The players like him, so I mean, he's got to be doing something. right.
exactly.
Right. Yeah. So let's get in a little. Obviously, the season starts now in what, a couple weeks?
Yeah.
So
Crazy,
let's
it
get in a
just
little
ended.
predictions.
Yeah.
Let's start off with. I don't know if it's the easiest one. I don't know if
Got him up there for you guys too.
Yeah, I don't know. What you guys are thinking, but let's start off with kind of just looking at some of the individual players.
Yeah.
MVP.
Listen, man,
Early predictions.
I think LeBron could have won MVP how many years in a row now? Like,
Yeah.
they're just trying to give it out to some other people, make them
You
feel a
gotta
little
spread
bit
the
better,
love because if it's really most valuable player, then it's not even up for debate. LeBron is
Yeah.
the box office
Yeah.
draws to the NBA, but if it's most interesting player of the year, then
Well, that's what the award should be.
Yeah.
it's a
That's what it
different
seems like who they're
conversation.
giving
The
it to.
MVP should be in the finals, and the most interesting player should
just
be in the
think-
regular
No,
If you
because
take
even
one
if
player
LeBron
away,
doesn't make the
like-
finals, he's still the MVP.
Yeah, true.
He's the most. He's the player who brings the greatest value to
Yeah,
the
I agree.
franchise and the league.
Yes.
So like,
If
it's
you,
kind
take,
of
if you take
redundant.
him away, what team suffers the most by taking that player away? It's got to be whatever team LeBron has been on. Look,
they
look at when
just- I
he's
know.
there. They're contenders. They're going to the finals. They're making deep into the playoffs. He leaves and they're in shambles the
I
next
know.
year. Like,
But it's also whatever team is playing them in the regular season that night. Their TV money drops just a little bit because LeBron's.
absolutely.
They're not playing LeBron.
a lot
They're
of
not
people are
playing the
going there to watch
marquee player.
LeBron, not necessarily their team.
Yeah.
Even in most cases.
Well, yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
I guess it's what it comes down to. What do you consider value? You know, I feel like that's been the age-old discussion
Yeah,
now
of
with
course.
just specifically LeBron. I'm not sure it's been in any other league more so than it's been the NBA, where people are like, "Oh, we give it to LeBron, but is he the most valuable player? Do you consider value money? Do you consider value
Man,
to a team?"
they're
Like-
the MJ lovers, and
Yeah.
they just hate on him. I think is what it is. Everyone's gonna be biased to one guy or the other, but I'm a LeBron guy. I think he's got to be hands down MVP. I mean, just think of his impact on the team. He took a role. I mean, he became point guard, right? And all of a sudden, he leads the league in assists. Like, how many players do you know that can just go, I'm gonna play this position this year and just be the best at that position?
In year
Doesn't make
17.
sense.
Honestly, though, he's been a great passer forever.
Yeah,
but,
he
Of course, but now he's just
But like
yeah,
year
I'm-
17, he's officially the
controlling the
ball.
guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
and they
I
get
know,
a
it's
ring.
elite.
Like,
Oh, you're the best guard in the
Yeah.
league this year.
Now he's the best point guard in the
Your
league.
first
Yeah.
year, your first year doing it. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm one of those guys who's kind of like.
Oh, here we go.
I tend to not lean the other side on LeBron, but I'm not like to jump to his side automatically.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I think as the years have gone by, it's harder and harder
Just look at
to make an
how
argument.
well he's been doing for how long, dude.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly. No, and that's I think the biggest thing. It's just so hard.
Let's just
to-
wait to see what happens. The thing with me and his debate with
With MJ.
the guy up there,
Yeah.
it's just like let's just wait till the end and then let's really have this debate. You know what I mean? Because it's not over. His career's not done. If it stops, if let's say what happens if the next whatever his contract is 3 more years, no championships. Let's just say it's the opposite of everything what everyone thinks is going to happen and probably will. Maybe 1 or 2 more, right? In the 3 years, right? If it goes opposite, then what? That's how many times in the so those are going to be the debates, back and forth, and he might not get there if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Here's my piece, and I try to make it as quick as possible whenever I say it to people. Like, the GOAT for me is MJ, and that's when we're talking about the player who has the most defining role in a sports league. For basketball, it's MJ, right? But who has the better story overall when their stories are all said and done is going to be LeBron by a mile.
Yeah.
From where he came from, what he overcame, how he kept us almost spotless behavior in his career, the things he's done for
True.
Giving back to the
Giving
community and
back,
all that
like-
stuff. Yeah. Yep.
he's just gonna have the better story.
And if he does play with his son,
exactly, and if he
I think everyone wants to see that.
Yeah.
Space Jam 2, and he gets to play with his son in the NBA.
and then it closed it out. Done.
Yeah, like
wild.
boom.
Yeah.
What better story is there than that?
I don't know.
It's
Then they make a movie about that.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to really just.
Oh, he's got a
Make another
documentary
argument.
in the works.
He
Oh,
has a
they're
better
They're
story.
filming his every move the past 10
Oh
years.
my
Yeah.
gosh! Yes.
Just like we didn't know about Kobe when, but they've apparently filmed everything for his last 2 seasons. So I'm sure that they're doing that with, especially with how well they saw the MJ documentary.
Oh my
go.
God! They're
I'm
like,
sure
we got to
they're
blow
doing that.
his out of the water.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
salivating at that chance.
Yeah. They're like, good job, Mike.
There's every
Tony's back
every
here
season
salivating.
of his NBA career, or every chapter, every team he played on is going to be a different season of his documentary. It's going to be like 4 seasons.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you're right. The storyline is unbelievable, and he does it all offensively. He could also probably win the defensive player of the
If he
year
wanted
award
to.
if he wanted
And, I
to.
mean,
If he didn't have
they
so
say
much on his
defense is
shoulders.
effort, right? So we'll see. I mean, he's arguably has a little bit of a better roster, some would say, this year than what he did last year when he
This is
won
the
a ring.
best roster
So,
ever, I think.
but
I just
we
hope
have
they
these
can
other
gel.
teams that he might have to face off against in the finals now, with KD and Kyrie going to be together.
Yeah, they're
going
gonna
to
be
start this
scary.
year. So I mean, who knows, man? It's
KD's
going to
cut. That's honestly who I think is going to win MVP because I think he's going to just come out and
It's a lot of
Bonkers.
fun teams.
He's going to
this
go
year.
bonkers.
I think, dude,
I hope he stays healthy, bro.
He will. He will. They got a good team there, a whole good team there from their training, guys and
I
to
hope
the
so.
staff.
Well, let's get into that right now.
1 through 5,
New
he's going to
York
be playing.
basketball, we need it.
Yeah, he's going to be playing 1 through 5. Steve Nash said, "KD,
Yeah.
7 foot. People forgot."
Well, let's get into it. I
get
do
over
think that you think that the Nets will make the playoffs. Obviously, what's another
First seed.
What's another? What else do you see for the Eastern Conference playoff teams?
Miami.
I see. Yep. Miami's up there. Miami's going to be a 2 or a 3. I could see the Celtics being up there. I think those boys, Brown and Tatum, are going to take another step forward. Washington's going to jump up because, look, they were the 9th seed last year with a young team. They did not have John Wall. Bradley Beal balled out, got robbed from all-star appearance, all for second team, I'd say. He was averaging like
Which happens all the time to him for some
28
reason,
and
it
almost a
seems like.
triple-double this season. And yeah, exactly. He always gets snubbed. So Washington's going to take a step up. Chicago could do, honestly, when Atlanta's obviously bumping up.
Yeah, I
that
was
team's
just about
going
to say
all the
that's-
way up.
yep.
They're going to be like a 4th seed, I think. Indiana, I don't know. I don't trust them. Philly, I think they're going to come with the heat.
Gotta
I
see
was
what
waiting for you
Milwaukee
to say
does, man.
Philly. I was like, are you just ignoring me?
No. I'm looking through it right now, and I just see Philly's going to dominate. I think
We've
that.
been saying that a lot. though.
I know, but they finally got a good team around them. The shooters, they got rid of Al Horford. Dude, that.
They did seem a little clogged,
is this
but-
the process or letting go of the process?
I think it might be the closing out of it, and then if they
The
don't
new
succeed, I think they're gonna deal. They're gonna deal.
Embiid has to go.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to go.
Yeah.
If
One
it
of those
doesn't work
It's
out
gonna be Embiid.
this year or next year.
'Cause-
Embiid has to go.
Yes, Ben Simmons is younger.
And
You
I
know?
think they like Ben Simmons more. I think they
Yes.
just like what he.
You got to
can do
correct a
more.
jump shot versus keeping somebody healthy.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. And I just think that there's just the Hawks specifically. I think the one thing we have to realize is that the playoffs are different this year. So a team like the Knicks, who finished in the 12th spot last year, could be in that playoff bracket or
I know.
whatever they're doing for it, the play-in games. And who knows how that can play
I know.
out,
Yeah.
and then make their way into the playoffs. You
Just
never know.
refresh our listeners on like the difference between the playoffs this past
Yeah.
season.
Well,
and
I
what-
think it's
what they're
actually
gonna
pretty
expect.
similar to the ones that last season, but the seasons before, as opposed to having that 8 seed being automatic, just cutting it off at the 8
Yeah,
seed.
they're gonna-
There's going to be a play-in tournament.
Right.
I have to look it up again just to see the exact format
Similar
of
to
the
the
play-in.
problem, no
bubble
problem.
situation.
Yeah, but I think it's like the 8 playing the 11 and the 9 playing the 10, and then it's a play-in tournament, and then you got to beat the 8 seed twice or something like that.
I like
I
it.
love
Me
that.
too.
I like
Yeah.
it because
I
it stops
love that.
people from planning their vacations too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So especially those like lower tier teams that might be like, oh, we're done.
The people that squeak in with the 8 seed, they're
Yeah.
not safe.
It sucks
Yes,
for
yes.
fans who pay money for tickets. Well, maybe not this year, but pay money for tickets to see professionals play, and it's the end of the season. You're giving up thinking about vacation. It's like
Also, those teams that are on the outside looking in now have a chance. Like a team last year, like the Suns, who were making some noise.
They are.
in the
We're going to
bubble,
get to the Western Conference.
Yes.
Don't worry.
but making noise outside.
Yes.
And now with this tournament, this playing thing, I mean,
They're
going
going
to
to be in it though. Yeah.
A team like that, just for example, just
Yeah.
has someone similar to the Suns, not necessarily
Yeah,
the
I know,
Suns
I know.
specifically. I mean, they can make noise and they can enter the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Hell
I
yeah.
have one question before we move on for you guys to the Western Conference. The Charlotte Hornets.
I know.
LaMelo Ball, Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
Is that enough to get them into a spot that they can find the playoffs or
think
even
so.
in that bottom
Yes.
tier?
Yeah. I think they'll fight for it.
What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, man, the East is always a toss-up, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're some of these teams don't have great records, and they're sneaking into the playoffs. So I mean, they'll be on that at least in that
Yeah, I
play-in
mean,
tournament.
I
for
don't
sure.
think that their quality is as good as the Heat, but look
Right.
at the Heat who got that one
Yeah.
player, that Jimmy Butler,
Yeah.
and I
Yep.
think Jimmy Butler may be better than LaMelo
that
Ball
dog.
or
Oh, yeah.
or Gordon Hayward individually, but
Oh, yeah.
maybe both of them together.
they're a
can-
team to watch. They're on the radar for
But
sure.
Jimmy brings so much more though than
yeah.
he's like
Jimmy got that
culture.
dog.
Yeah, he's
That dog.
all those Miami Heat young puppies were like, we just follow Jimmy and do whatever he says.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's all you need to know about him.
Well, let's get over to the Western Conference now. Obviously, the
You
Lakers.
missed out on my wild theory.
Oh, let's go.
My,
to Wild
go.
Theory.
my super wild theory is
Okay.
all right. It all depends on Detroit. They got to hold on to Melo, and then North Carolina. I mean, they have to hold on to Jello. Then North Carolina has to go and acquire Jello, and then Melo
Jello.
and Jello will just lead them.
That's pretty sweet.
And then what's his name? Lonzo goes into free agency. Boom.
The three
Ball
of them.
brothers
The Ball
take
brothers
over
are back together?
North
Ball
Carolina.
Brothers and Michael Jordan.
Wow.
And they're all trying to play the same position, almost.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
That'll work out.
LeVar needs that. All three of his sons on one
It'll
team.
be the most hilarious thing the NBA has ever done.
It'll be box office for sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Western Conference. Lakers, obviously, I think, is up
Yeah,
there.
it's got
What else are you guys seeing for the Western Conference?
Man, I want to see what the Clippers do. I want to see how they bounce back. I mean, they didn't even. They said last year they didn't want to be in the bubble, man. So they
I know.
They acted like they didn't want to play, and it showed. Man.
I know.
They were so lackadaisical in the playoffs, and they let it slip, and they got punched in the mouth, man.
Hard.
So we'll see what happens. That's the adversity that they're seeing this year. They're getting a lot of slack. Paul George, Kawhi. I mean, this load management crap.
I know.
It's so annoying.
They're
man.
so soft.
Well, Bez, they lose Trez, and
Yeah.
I think that's a huge loss.
Yeah,
for
to the
them.
Lakers.
Yeah.
It's huge.
To the team next door, Big
Yeah.
Brother.
Huge.
Big Brother came and took your toys.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
I mean, honestly, the thing that I disliked most from the Clippers at the end of this bubble season was really the disrespect that was floated Doc's way.
Yeah, I agree.
That really rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah,
Doc,
they all pointed the finger.
Doc is an NBA legend, living legend.
Yeah, from playing
he's
days.
a great coach. He took full responsibility at the end, and
That's what a coach is
honestly,
supposed to do, but I mean, it's not on him, man.
yeah, honestly, you got some guys who were being
Prima
seemed like they were
donnas.
being
Yeah,
prima
absolutely.
donnas in the locker room.
Dude,
And
we
did you
talked
see
about it
the-
last show, Bez. These dudes aren't even at the training camp, Paul George and Kawhi. They're at
Yeah.
their own facilities getting ready for the NBA season.
Team chemistry.
And did you see the comment Doc had after they were all blaming him? He goes, well, the guy that's your head coach now was sitting right next to me the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
Like it's gonna be that different.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. One team. I mean, I'm
I have
a Mavericks-
three. Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna
a
say.
Mavericks fan, so I see them jumping
Yes.
probably into that top
Three.
4.
Yeah, no,
I
top
want to see
three.
that. I want to see Luka ball out.
I'll tell you.
The Warriors are going to be better.
Oh
Even
my
without
God,
Clay,
that's-
they're going to be better. They're going to be a playoff team.
Yes. And dude,
Really?
honestly, New Orleans, getting Steven Adams, building that, getting someone to whip fucking Zion into shape. And you saw him talk. He's like, I thought I was strong. He's strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this dude, I'm telling you, New Orleans is going to be a good team, and Portland is going to be a good team again. But I'm really curious about Denver.
I was just about to say
I'm
something.
really curious to see the growth of.
Uh-oh.
He's going for a prop.
Going over here, let's cut. My man. Bull. All bull cards, baby.
7
We
bull
are
bull
locked
cards.
in here at Downtime with bull. But I'm curious to see the growth of bull and my boy Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, I think also how much that playoffs helped Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray,
yeah.
I think that just being in the playoffs and the bubble, I think that helped his confidence tremendously.
Performing the way he did.
Yeah,
You know,
I
he
think
knows
so.
he could do it.
So
on
let
the
me
biggest
just
stage.
ask. We're convinced that it wasn't a flash in the pan with them.
For who?
We're talking about the Nuggets, right?
Oh no, they're
No,
for
yeah, I
real.
think
They're
the real
legit.
deal.
They're
Yeah,
legit.
legit.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna be here.
Now, how deep do they get in their playoff run?
Michael Porter and Bull depend on that.
I mean,
I know it sounds
specifically
funny.
Bull.
On paper,
Yeah.
on paper, right now, how far do they get in their playoff run?
They can go to the Western Conference Finals, I think. Because Murray
getting
proved
around the same
himself.
area.
So they beat the Warriors on paper.
Right now, yes, without
They
Clay.
beat Portland on paper.
Yes.
Who else? Who
Well,
else
this
is going to
is
beat in the
Utah,
top?
yes.
They beat the Clippers on paper.
You know who they might struggle with if they're healthy and they're because Dallas missed key pieces last year. They missed
If Dallas has KP in the
KP in that,
in the conference,
and if you had Powell,
against-
people forget.
yeah,
Powell.
people forget about the other thing about Dallas
Go ahead.
is
Yes.
they were terrible
off.
defensively. They were
Yes.
the best offensive team in the league last year, and they were terrible defensively. They pick up Josh Richardson. They pick up Josh Green, a defensive guy from Arizona who will play the shooting guard position. They get rid of Seth Curry, but they get better significantly defensively. If KP is in that Clippers series, I think they win that Clippers
Oh yeah.
series.
Was it the second game? That he got
Yeah, I think it was the
the
second
technical.
game. Yeah,
and thrown
I mean,
out double tech.
That whole series was very aggravating from a Mavs
I know.
standpoint. But I think that they had a shot in that series to win that series with KP.
I know,
and that is
Luka.
with a bad defense. So think about what they would be with a good defense. Josh Richardson is a very good
He's a dog.
player.
Yeah.
And I think that they got a steal with him. So I think that'll be interesting.
We're talking a lot about the teams that are going to become, a playoff team, but who's falling out then? Someone has to fall out if they're
Oklahoma
rising up.
City.
I think Oklahoma City
OKC's
falls out.
got to be.
Utah's gonna drop.
I think so too.
I don't really trust Utah.
What about the Rockets? Do you guys think John Wall is a better fit with James Harden than
Rockets stay in the playoff race, but they move down to
to the seventh?
seed.
Yeah. I think it's like Dallas and Houston flip.
Yep.
Honestly.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it's gonna like you said, the Suns. The Suns are gonna be really interesting. And we saw what Chris Paul did with a worse team in Oklahoma
yeah,
City.
I would say.
Oh my
So,
God.
they'll probably be really good. I think the West is going to be as it always is.
As always.
Very competitive.
Yes, always. I
Lot
think
of
this
fun.
might be a crazy year.
I mean, look at the 9 and 10 seed in the West right now. They would have been the seventh.
Oh my God,
6th or
we're not
7th
talking
seed in
about
the
John
East.
Morant. Oh my God,
Yeah,
there's
I know.
just so many fucking.
Yeah.
You know what?
And Minnesota, I mean, I don't like Cat, but dude, a full year with him and his boy Russ, and you know what I mean. It could be a
I
little
think
different.
the draft picks that Sacramento picked up too might help them too. It's going to be a really very close
Yeah, they're
league.
an up and coming team
Yeah.
too, man.
I know, it's crazy. The West,
The West is crazy.
the West is crazy.
The NBA season is going to be a giant AAU tournament.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's
Bro.
gonna be awesome. Now we got to wrap this section
Yeah.
up, but real quick, champions. Who you guys got?
Yes,
I think the Lakers are going to run it
I
back,
think so
man.
too. Yeah.
I want to say the Suns though, just as a fan.
Lakers,
They're going to make a huge run.
Lakers definitely make it to the Western Conference, along with, I want to say, Denver goes back for a rematch.
For a rematch with the Lakers.
Yeah.
I could see that too.
Lakers, Dallas,
Lakers,
Eastern Conference,
finals, Western Conference finals.
Eastern Conference.
I'm going Miami, Brooklyn.
Yes, exactly. Me too.
Yeah, I think those.
be
I think those
fire.
are the two teams.
Got to
in the
be
East.
those two.
It'll be a dogfight
It's not
too.
going to be anybody else, I don't think.
Yeah,
Milwaukee's
If not
in shambles.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee's in shambles, man.
Yeah, it's not
We
Milwaukee.
didn't even
No.
mention them and what
I don't
was
even
going
want
on
to.
with
I don't want to talk about it.
Giannis. Like, who knows?
Oh
man.
my
They're-
dude!
they're just-
you know
I
what?
don't
If he
know.
doesn't re-sign,
they're
Giannis
in
was talking
trouble.
about recruiting LeBron and AD. I
Yeah.
said, before
It's like,
they
I'm open to being
before
not
they
the two, but the
renegotiated
three.
their
Yeah.
contract. I
Yeah.
was like, what are you talking about?
oh
bro?
no,
We'll see how that makes
Giannis is
any
all
sense.
fucked up in the head already.
Hey, that's my boy.
I love Giannis too, but it's
Might have been that peyote.
he needs to go to Golden State or Miami.
Well, he wants to stay on that team so bad, but they're not helping him, man.
No. And they had that whole debacle
No,
with
don't.
Bogdanovich or whatever.
Yeah,
it
they
was-
messed up that whole
You
trade.
couldn't even
He
get
was
him?
pissed.
That was bad. It's been
Bro,
a mess for them.
You know why? Because Milwaukee's not a marquee
Yeah,
franchise.
nobody wants to go there. It's boring.
Yeah,
You
why
have
would
a star, but if that star leaves, that whole city's in shambles.
So, I mean, are we all saying Lakers repeat? Is that kind of what
I think it is.
I think it's the best chance.
They have the
They're-
best
they're-
team.
They're in the best position to not only win but repeat, minus any complications.
The finals, we're thinking what? Lakers, Nets?
I think so.
Is everyone okay
That would
with
be
that?
that would be the most interesting, but
But
I wouldn't mind a rematch
With
with,
the
Miami.
Heat, yeah,
It-
with
it
a
all-
better older Heat team.
And a healthy
Yeah,
team the whole
yes,
time.
true.
The biggest thing that matters exactly is the health.
Yeah.
If Houston, or I mean, if Brooklyn can stay healthy, then
I
they'll
know.
go to
Yeah.
the finals.
KD's Kyrie and KD.
And Landry Shamet is,
Yeah.
is now on their team, which I think was a really good pickup.
They got
so
some guys that could shoot the rock too, man. So
I
It'll be
mean,
fun.
we
Jared
still
Allen,
haven't really
anchor in the D.
seen like KD play with Kyrie.
I know.
I'm interested to see how that looks.
I
It's
know.
gonna be crazy.
we'll see.
yeah,
yeah.
it'll
I
be
feel
really
like
good.
they're missing a piece somewhere, but who knows?
It's early.
We'll see.
It's early.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Season starts December 22nd.
So close.
We're all excited to watch that. We're gonna take a
Christmas
quick break.
games.
We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back though after the break with some boxing talk. Some big things happening
sir.
there.
It's not dead. It's coming back, baby.
Yes.
I done birthed me. 2 kids came together and they birthed me. I'm
Nice,
a
dude. That was
94,
great.
that's the score. What's the score? Whoa. Dance for the Tsar Russia. Matter of fact, no other. But now singing. All up, that's my brother. Hold on, that's the way. Sound engine on the way. I'm coming on the way. Step up on the way.
Downtime.
Downtime. What kind of time is it? Yeah. Downtime or clock. Oh, on the future. Check what's future.
countdown.
Eddie Murphy, I done birthed me. 2 kids came together and they birthed me. Hold up, 94, that's the score.
All right, we're back now with a little boxing talk, and producer Mike joins us on the dark side, the other side of the
I
table.
know it
here.
is. It is the
Tony's
dark
taking
side.
over on the.
Excited. He's passionate right now.
Yeah, I am. Especially for boxing, because like a lot of people think it's dead, but it's not.
No, yeah, I think it's.
We talked about it earlier.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. We'll get into that.
But first,
First, we got to talk about though a non-competitive match. The Paul brothers are at it again.
Oh, man.
Logan Paul this
all
time
are at it again.
facing off against Floyd Mayweather, now official February 20th of next year.
Day before my birthday. What a present, huh?
wow.
As you can tell, Kaz is in
We'll
love
buy
with the
you-
Paul
we'll buy
brothers.
it.
Loves them so much.
We'll get the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's a live on pay-per-view on Fanmeo.
Yeah.
And the price will jump to $39.99 after 1 million has been sold. But those waiting until February 11th will have to fork out about $70.
$70.
Watch an 0-1 pretty much amateur face Floyd Mayweather. What?
Yes.
What?
I know. It's actually the thing that pisses me off the most is it's an exhibition.
Yeah.
It's like, so we know it's just a money grab.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Are you
This is a
kidding me?
huge money grab.
Money Mayweather for a reason.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm about to say.
He's hopping on the trend, baby.
Yeah, exactly. He is. He really is. He's tapping into it. I think it's a joke. It's almost like it hurts his legacy almost. These like Conor
Better not
McGregor.
lose. Tell you that right now.
Oh yeah, no. If he gets hit by accident by like a right hook by this kid,
Yeah.
I mean he's so much bigger than him.
Yeah,
He's a heavyweight.
He's got like 4 inches on him.
Yeah, this.
Probably 30, 40 pounds. Like,
Have you guys
it
seen?
doesn't make sense, really, if we're talking about matchup, but
Have you seen? I know. So when they go in these exhibitions, they probably talk. They're like, "Don't hit me like, we'll make it real, blah blah." But have you seen the making of Creed when they're practicing? They're practicing, and then Michael B. Jordan actually gets knocked out.
yeah, I did see that.
So it could happen.
Yeah,
absolutely.
In such a controlled environment, this is a little bit more loose. If Floyd goes down,
Listen, man.
I mean, that's
That's
not
why
a
it's
good
an
look.
exhibition, right?
Yeah.
We're
Because in
sponsored
case
by
one
EO
punch,
Essential Oils hand sanitizer, by the way, guys.
I
Big
mean,
sponsor.
we saw what happened to Nate Robinson just
boy.
going down. I mean, listen, Nate Robinson's not a boxer, so
But,
that
dude,
would happen.
that
but
was
Floyd, that happened to Floyd. Then, I mean,
Did you think that was gonna happen?
no, if I didn't watch.
listen,
the fight,
everybody
I
was
haven't
like,
really watched any of
Nate's
these.
an athlete.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
crazy, but he's not a fighter. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And you could tell whatever training he did just was completely out the window the second he got in the ring. He was
Oh.
running at him,
Yeah.
throwing wild punches. He wasn't covering up.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything.
It wasn't.
so.
No, he's not.
Whereas as Floyd is obviously a very well.
And he's probably the best defensive boxer of all time.
Yeah, that's he definitely.
So we're going to
is.
have an 0-1 dude who lost to another YouTuber go up against him? I don't think so, man.
yeah,
know.
I can't see how this there's no way. I mean, if this isn't an exhibition match, Floyd knocks him out in the first round. You know, it's like
Yeah.
No.
it's I don't know. It's a
I'll
little
be watching the
crazy.
highlights after.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
The
I
next
will-
day.
No,
You know.
Tony, are you gonna buy it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy into it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Come on, guys. Like, what are we talking about?
Some live bets?
It's gonna be a great fight. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna buy into it. I'm gonna have a big old party, big old watch party, guys.
Wow.
How
Well,
much
there
of
you
an
go. We don't
underdog
have
is
to
he gonna
buy
be,
it.
man?
Yeah, Tony's
Tony's
got us.
gonna
I got you guys.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah.
Just stream it. Low-key.
Yeah,
Just kidding. We don't do that.
Maybe.
we would never. That's against the law.
That's but we would.
An actual fight that's happening though.
Yes.
Let's get into real fighting. Some
Yes.
real fights. Anthony Joshua versus Mike
Kubrat Pulev.
Thank you.
Pulev.
It's
Just
on,
his boy right there.
it's on December 12th.
I'm Bulgarian, so if I can't say his name, there's something going on there.
In case you guys didn't know, Mike is Bulgarian.
It's not on my shirt.
But they're going to be fighting December 12th for the IBF, the IBO,
Yes.
the WA, the WO heavyweight titles.
Literally.
Just a few in there.
Obviously, Joshua is touted to face Fury next in a clash in 2021
for all the belts.
Mike, tell us about Kubrat Pulev.
Good job.
Yes.
So just backtracking,
Nice, dude.
there's 4 big heavy hitters in the heavyweight division. We've got Andy Ruiz. I'll start with him to give him his credit because he came in and knocked Joshua. He was the Mexican Rocky last year. He did lose in the second bout, but he even admits that he wasn't training with his father, who has been his trainer his whole life. He bought into the lifestyle, basically. You know what I mean? That whole Hollywood lifestyle for
Right.
leading up to it, which I get it. So he's coming back. He's going to come back hard. We got Deontay Wilder, he's probably the most powerful hitter, I'd say, in the history of heavyweight boxing. When he connects,
Wow.
no, he
Big
can't.
word.
He can't. He's not your tactical fighter. He's not that. But when he hits you with that hook, it's lights out guaranteed if he gets you. And he did it to Tyson Fury. But that leads me to my next point. Tyson Fury got up off the canvas and then beat him in that round.
Well, that man is a psychopath.
He is. No, he is.
He is just an animal.
His story is crazy. He's 6'9". He moves like
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali. He finally has the strength now for the closeout power, which he showed you with Deontay.
Burst the dude's eardrum, bro.
That dude is a monster. Like his lineage is over 200 years of bare knuckle fighting. When he was born, he was premature. The doctor said he's not going to live. His father said his name's going to be Tyson. He's going to be the heavyweight boxing champion of the world. Seriously, facts. Because his favorite boxer
Sounded
was
like
Mike Tyson.
McGregor a little bit there.
Yeah, they're from that area. You know what I mean? But I never
is that
liked
right?
Joshua. No, it's true. It's a true story.
He's from the UK, right?
He's from there, but he's the
Yeah.
Gypsy King because they never wanted to claim him as their own. their own is Joshua. That's who their puppy is. He's been
Like, is he a
groomed.
little prettier?
Yeah, he's prettier. He's got the the smile. He's got the swag. He could talk to the media. He's got the story. He's been groomed since day one to do this. He beat what's his name? I can't remember. Klitschko after Tyson Fury beat him, and Tyson went to a drug bender and lost the title. Joshua came in, swooped in, took it from Klitschko, held it. Now he has all these titles. But I'll tell you one thing about Bulgarians. They're warriors. That's a fact. You go look up in our history. We've done some damage in wars. Kubrat Pulev is an older, wiser boxer, very tactical, very smart, and he's strong. He knows how to fight. That's the thing that's scary about him. And it's going to go either way, honestly, if I'm being honest. But don't be surprised the next morning if you see a Bulgarian named Kubrat Pulev with all those fucking belts on around his waist. I'm not joking. And that would be maybe the end of Joshua's career. He's actually the oldest out of all four of those. Deontay Wilder's older by a year. Tyson Fury's the youngest.
Which is weird, right?
He looks like he's 50.
He looks like he's so much older.
I was like,
I never thought of that.
Drugs, you know what I mean? It
They
ages
do
you.
a
It
little
ages
bit
you
of a
quick.
number on you. Yeah, exactly.
But it's gonna be a good fight, and I'm actually gonna. This is one I will buy. I will watch this. We'll probably do a live viewing here with the boys. Whoever's here, we'll shoot it here.
Really, with boxing, the heavyweight division is what's bringing it back.
Yeah,
Bringing the
seriously.
eyes back, and I
Yep.
think all these
Well,
fights,
it
all these guys are
was-
fun to watch.
Lomachenko was, I think, a big one until he lost that fight recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, the heavyweights have been fantastic.
The last couple years, just like the last 3 years, it's like really jolted. It's crazy. It went from like nothing to like so much.
You know what? You might have
attention.
to say a little bit about the YouTubers and having something to do with that, because YouTube boxing
It's huge.
exploded the past 2
Yeah.
years. Man.
Yeah.
It's
with
true.
the Paul brothers, as much as I hate them, I mean, they're in that scene. And they're bringing a lot more eyes to boxing that people, didn't really have before, which is crazy to say. It's disgusting. I'm gonna wash my mouth out with soap from saying that.
I know. After the show,
But I mean, hey, let's get the heavy hitters in there. Let's see
Yeah.
some knockouts, man. Let's see
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
exciting fights.
I know
You
it's
what
going to be
mean?
good. It's going to be our generation's like, heavyweight. We're going to be older one day, and
Yeah.
we're going to look back and be like, yo, remember when those four were fucking duking it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will. But
I mean, well, with Pulev, I mean, just to give everybody out there some background, he's 28-1. He's got 14 KOs.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's not knocking people out or winning
Right.
by decision. He's got some knockouts.
yeah,
And
it shows
then-
he's versatile, 50-50 basically. Like he'll beat you the long way or he'll knock you out.
Yeah, and then some things he said also. You
Yeah.
mentioned Bulgaria. He talks about how it's a small country,
Yep.
And he wants to stand up for the heavyweight titles. He thinks that's a great accomplishment if he
Yeah.
was able to win those.
Yeah.
For his country.
His country and his late father.
Yeah,
who
and
just passed.
Yeah, he says this fight is for my late father and all Bulgarians around the world. I'm coming to London to seize the heavyweight championship. of the world.
Sounds like a winner to me, man.
Yeah,
Beat
I mean, hey,
Pulev.
talk about storybook. That would be that's the story right
It's
there.
all about this. Whoever has the best story, man. It seems to be.
Yeah. and like why not
coming
root for
out
the
on top a
underdog?
little bit.
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
Tony's rooting for him.
Oh yeah, big underdog guy.
Huge dog guy, bro.
Huge dog
Huge
guy,
dog.
bro.
Love the dogs. Another fight we got coming up. This one was rescheduled. It'll now take place January 2nd. Is Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. It's a WBC title fight. Garcia's 20-0 with 17 KOs.
He's the
KOs,
the
man.
king. He
Yeah.
calls himself King Ryan.
Yeah, and Campbell, not too bad himself, 20-3 with 16 KOs. He's 33 and lost a unanimous decision challenging the then lightweight unified champion Vasily Lomachenko, who we just
talked
mentioned
about.
in August 2019.
Yep.
Talk about fast hands. I love watching.
I know.
watching Lomachenko.
That's
But-
what these guys got. These
but-
these lightweight guys.
Yeah, I mean, both good fighters. Both have clearly had a good run of fights, and obviously Campbell has the 3 losses, but I don't think that makes him any more of a a dog. I
Right.
think he's got just as much of a chance, right?
I think Garcia being 20-0 and having 17 of those come from a knockout.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something to really look at and realize. I mean, this guy's just not. He's punching with power and stuff like that.
And
It's
he's
not always
fast.
going to decision. He's got speed. So
You see the videos, right? You've seen the videos of him
Yeah.
on YouTube where he's like, just like,
it doesn't make sense. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
It's like
crazy.
Tony in the
Who
morning.
Who do you guys got in this fight? Who do you think?
man.
I know.
I don't know, man. I'll go with Garcia. Just
Yeah.
look at keep that
That's what I
20.
think so too,
21's
yeah.
my favorite number. He'll get to 21-0. Another
think so
knockout,
too.
make it 18 KOs.
I think so too.
I think so too. I think he keeps it rolling here. Goes to 21-0 and keeps. Yeah,
Let's see another knockout in that fight, man. Let's
Get
get
it.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No decisions, man. I want it to be easy. Guys laying on the canvas. There you go.
Round
You know,
4, like they've done it over with.
you know who wins.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. No, I'm with you, Garcia.
And then the last one, Alvarez is going to fight Callum Smith on December 19th in a unification bout for the WBA super middleweight
Canelo.
championship. What do you guys think? I mean, it's
Canelo.
It's Canelo, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
He's coming back in 2020. He had this whole dispute with DAZN, contract issue type stuff. He's coming back to be like, I'm the king. You do what I say of this whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm
I guess
the
so.
generational money guy for you guys the past 10 years. It's been me, Canelo. So you guys relax over there.
When was his last fight?
I want to say 2018. I can't remember right now.
It's been
Been
a
a
while,
little bit
right?
then, huh?
What? I'm trying to look it up right now, but yeah, I think I just
Tony
think
was a good
he's.
producer back there. He could do both.
I hate you guys so much.
I think he's I think he's the one who wins this one. I can't see.
We don't have to say much
But again,
about it.
you
It
never
is
know.
Alvarez.
You never know because if
Hey,
it
one
gets
punch
to a
can do
decision-
anything.
Yeah, if it gets to
Just
a
takes
decision,
one punch, huh?
One punch.
You remember that Pacquiao fight a few years ago against that Australian guy in Australia?
Yeah.
Everybody thought Pacquiao won that fight, and
my
all
God.
of a sudden it's.
But
like,
isn't that's why I'm saying, man, just knock him out. And
I
hey,
know.
it's an
Exactly.
easy decision. No one
Exactly.
can bullshit some score when
know,
someone's
yep.
laying down. You know?
exactly?
100%. Yeah. But that's it. I think we're all with Alvarez. What do you say, Tony? Alvarez?
Yeah, I'll go with you guys. You
Yeah.
guys seem to be pretty
Well
Wow.
versed.
knowledgeable, well versed.
Thank you.
Well versed, even.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
term,
you so
guys.
much.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's
Yeah,
it. I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
We appreciate you guys joining us.
Make sure you like, sub, follow.
Like, comment, subscribe.
We love you
We'll
guys.
get the Discord link in there. Join our Discord.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Actually, keep on the lookout for that
We
because
want some more viewer, I guess, involvement and stuff like that. Get some prizes out to you guys. Maybe some football picks. Hey, we'll
Ooh.
see. We got some things in the works here.
Prizes.
There you go. Talk about promotion right there. Fantastic.
promotion.
But if you don't like,
Promotion.
comment, and subscribe, and show that you did that, prizes aren't for you. Sorry.
correct. Then
There you go,
are
guys.
absolutely
Gotta work for it.
garbage. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Peace.
Have a good one.
Hey, I never thought I could, but I did. So can you? Trust me, I'm the kid.